ways to win the most amount of money with the nut flush, with the flopped nut flush, is actually to fast play it. Now that might be a little bit counterintuitive because it's a hand that everybody just loves to slow play, right? The nut flush. But the thing is that you will get more action early on in the hand than waiting. And it's a twofold thing. You'll just get more hands to give you action, and people don't think you are as strong if you fast play early, as opposed to check raising turn or going for a check raise on the river.
That is Bart Hansen on the Crush Live Poker Podcast, talking about one of the things that he has always been steadfast on for the years I've been listening to it, and that is fast playing the flopped nut flush is almost always the way to go. And I'm sure I've been guilty of it a number of times too, trying to slow play it. But when you listen to the reason he just laid out right there, that really explains why you want to try to get money in early on in hands where that happens. Now, admittedly, it's not a piece of advice you get to use every day, but when it does come up, it can be an important situation to certainly try to get right. And that is what Crush Live Poker always aims to do for you. And it is the place to go when it comes to live poker trading. I think most poker trading sites over the years have been aimed at playing online poker, not CLP. And if you want to get 25% off, and not just for this year, 25% off for life, all you got to do is go through the link in the description below. We are heading over to Peppermill to jump in a game there. There could be a 5-10, there could be a 3-5. Sometimes either one of those can be the better game depending on the day. So let's hope this goes well. This is not vlog 100 or 200. This is vlog 339. So you need a break? Take the break. And then jump back in and let's roll. By the way, shout out to anyone who got the 339 reference. If you did, you're probably in pretty good shape. The first thing to point out is that our boy Bugsy, our vlog correspondent who likes to give us his take on different poker rooms throughout the country, is doing so this week. He's been to one that we have not been to before, and we'll have that coming up at the end of the vlog. It's a vlog that comes your way from Peppermill Reno, a place managed by Kathy Wood, someone who said that she once dealt a hand of poker to Stu Unger back in the mid-1980s at the Dunes, and he proceeded to pick up all 7 cards and throw them right at her as hard as he could. The part of that story that just really bothers me, aside from the incredibly disrespectful action, is that when you win back-to-back main events, I don't think you have the license to complain about running bad for the rest of your life. That's just my take. Anyway, we'd fire up a 3-5 game on table 5 at 3 p.m., just as I was hoping we would do, and the lineup was good. The first hand would come when we'd get a +1 open to 15 and a call from middle position. I have ace-6 of diamonds on the button and make the call as well. Mr. W, the legendarily loose player that you've seen in this game on a number of vlogs, comes in from the small blind on my immediate left. And with 65 in, I managed to rip off top and bottom pair out of the gate on ace-10-6 2 spades. Original raiser bets out for 35 here and middle position folds. I raise it to 115. Small blind folds. +1, thinks about it for a second, and decides he isn't going anywhere. So with 295 in, turn is a card I did not expect. It's another ace. So obviously, hoping that he has that last ace, I bet an amount that I thought had the potential to get stacks in, but also I was kind of hoping would be an amount he might call it pocket kings, or a big hand like that. Potentially a big draw as well. I bet 175 here. Doesn't take him long to call me again. So with 645 in the pot, the river is the biggest brick in the deck, the deuce of hearts. The only question was, did I want that brick, or did I want the draw to come in? Turns out I'd get that answer real quick. As he checks to me, if he has a draw, he's missed anyway, so I might as well go for max value here. He has just under 500 left, so I bet it all, and sure enough, he snap folds. That hand had been against a young guy that I don't know. Good thing about playing 3-5 is you get a lot of players that don't normally play 5-10, and this hand would come against another one of them. We'd get a pair of limps and a raise to 20 on the button. I have ace-king offsuit in the small blind and put it in a 3-bet to 85. Folds back around to the button, and he's my only caller. So with 185 in, the board rolls off king, jack, jack, rainbow. I bet out for 90 here, and it doesn't take long for him to call me. So at 365 in the pot, the turn is a 10. Now you know my feeling on ace-king. It, generally speaking, does not win big pots in live cash games. Does that mean what I chose to do here was the right thing? No, it does not. I really thought that this guy was going to get away from a lot of hands that he might peel the flop with here if I were to bet again. I did think there was a good chance, though, that if I showed weakness on the turn and bet the river, that might be the way to get paid off. So I'd check, planning on doing just that, and as I expected, he checks it behind. The river is an interesting card. It comes an ace. Can't say I expected that as a part of this plan. Now it becomes just a quintessential bet-fold spot, as he is never betting a weaker hand here, but might call a small bet. Turns out, even that isn't true, as I would bet less than a third of the pot, and he would fold about as fast as the guy in the first hand did. On the last vlog, I talked about how the new Naked Gun movie was kind of a pleasant surprise, and I really enjoyed it. Well, unfortunately, this time I have to go the other way. I am not a huge Bruce Springsteen fan, but I am a fan. I listened to a lot of his stuff growing up, thanks to my dad. And there's a lot of his songs that I'll know and I appreciate, but that script of the movie Deliver Me From Nowhere is something that I do not know how it got made into a movie. The Bob Dylan biopic with Timothée Chalamet, that one I got. That was good. That script at least made sense, even though there was some licenses taken and things like that. There was just nothing to this movie. Outside of the scene where they record Born in the USA, I thought it was a movie that didn't need to be made. I'm not saying it was Happy Gilmore too bad, but I just have to warn you, if you're a Springsteen fan and still are thinking about watching it. Over the next 90 minutes, we'd get some really aggressive play. Problem was, I could not get a hand to get involved in it. In fact, the best hand I'd get dealt over the 2-hour stretch would be ace-9 suited, which wouldn't get me anywhere. Another hour would go by when absolutely nothing would happen for me. So when we get a $25 open from the button, I just felt the need to play Jack-10 suited out of the small blind. Mr. W, who rarely folds a single-hand preflop, 3-bets to 105 here. The original raiser goes out. So in a situation that's definitely player-dependent, I would decide to see this flop. And with 240 in, the flop comes out Jack-5-7 rainbow. So I pick up top pair and I check it. He follows through with the bet of $105 again. I just think I have the best hand way too often here to fold, obviously. Spoiler alert, I did. And I'd make the call. So with 450 in, the turn is the king of clubs. I check, and to my surprise, he checks this one back. The river, once again, comes an ace. So this was a run out that I could have lived without. I check, and he says, and it still shocks me, I'm worried that you're trapping me. And he checks back with ace-king. So my read on the flop, pretty much correct, but I can't avoid a nasty run out in a hand that I will admit I should have just folded pre-flop. As for Mr. W, he would then VPip king-deuce offsuit and make a full house and bust a player a couple hands later. So there's that. We would then get a $15 button straddle, and it would fold to me in the hijack with ace-9 of diamonds. I raise it to 45. Mr. W cold calls in the cutoff as expected, and the straddle and blinds fold. So with 110 in, we're heads up to king-8-7, 2 hearts, 1 diamond. Now we know how little Mr. W loves to fold hands. I think that he is peeling with any flopped pair here, and I'm just not willing to fire. I check, but he checks back, and the turn rolls off the 3 of diamonds. Now I am willing to fire, as I pick up the nut flush draw. I have to make this bet to try to get him off of hands like a pair of 3s in this spot, which he certainly could have. So I do bet it, but he turns over queen 10 of spades and throws it into the muck. One of those spots that doesn't surprise me. I had the best hand anyway, and certainly could have played it differently. He says he would have called with any pair, but in this case, he didn't have one. Whether you believe that is up to you. Then a hand that I'm absolutely stunned by. For those of you that have been to Reno, or maybe just seen the movie Kingpin, you know that this is a big bowling city with the National Bowling Stadium located downtown since the 1990s. There are currently tons of bowlers in town. And my opponent in this next hand already told everyone that he's one of them. He opens to 25 under the gun +1. I have pocket jacks in the low jack, and I put in a 3-bet to 105. Folds back around, and the bowler's my only caller. So with 215 in, the flop is King, King, 3 rainbow. He checks, and still likely to be good here. I bet 110 for value. To my amazement, he turns over pocket queens and tosses them face up into the gutter. So a hand that I had no business winning somehow goes into the win column. I would then raise ace 8 of spades over a straddle and end up getting 3 callers. And once again, I would take the pot down with a flop bet. I wasn't planning on it being a long session, and we would rack up and book a win on a vlog where we are going to skip the parking lot reaction video. We'll tell you how much we won here in just a minute, but first, we have to go to our vlog correspondent on the road again, Bugsy.
Hey Ben, what's going on? I'm in Big D, Dallas, Texas, right outside of the Texas Rangers Stadium, up here at the Cowboy Bar. Came down to Texas to do a little work and go play at the Texas Card House. Going into the Texas Card House, checking it out for the first time. Gonna see about playing some PLO and some 2-5 no limit. Let's see how it goes. Hey Ben, what's going on? It's a really nice room. They got about 28 tables. They have all assortment of games, Big O, PLO, great tournaments going on. You know, it's that membership thing they have going on, but they also charge you $14 an hour, and then you have to buy a membership, whether it's a week. I did it for the week because I was only playing for one day, but all in all, I liked the room. The PLO games had a lot of good action. So if anybody wants to play some great PLO games, definitely get down to Dallas.
All right, thank you, Bugsy. That rake that he mentioned can be interpreted 2 different ways. If you're me, you look at that as pretty expensive. If you live in LA, pretty reasonable. Not exactly great times for Texas poker overall right now, obviously, but good to see that Bugsy had a good experience playing in Dallas. I'm hoping that you have a better experience watching this vlog this week, because as I actually record this right now, it's my hope that I've improved the video quality. People thought that it was an old iPhone issue. That's not what it was. It was a editing software issue. My hope is there's been upgrades made. If you see an improvement there and you feel like letting me know in the comments, I would certainly appreciate that. As for the result of this session that you just watched, a $467 win, pretty much as I hoped it would go. A grind of a session. Didn't play a ton of hands, as I was hoping not to. Hoping to play tight, grind out an hourly in this game. And we got a pretty good 3-5 game. Didn't really get involved in too many hands, but didn't get cooler, didn't cooler anyone, and hopefully didn't make too many stupid mistakes, though I should have gotten away from that Jack 10 hand pre-flop, or if I'm really looking at it, should have found a raise on the flop. But anyway, hoping we have more 3-5 available. It's just better. If you know poker, you know why. There's just a variety of reasons why that's the better play for a long-term, sustainable, lasting game in a city like Reno than a 5-10 game. I shouldn't have to spell this out for some people, but apparently it's continuing to be a struggle. But the times we do get that game going, I certainly am going to try to get in it and make some more of these videos for you. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. I genuinely appreciate that. Follow along on Instagram at bendeach, and we'll see you back here next time.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love